It's almost like this real-time card role-playing game in a way. It's like you stop to play Marvel Snap. What am I going to throw down that's going to be effective in this battle or to get over there? Earlier this year, Nintendo bucked the trend and gave us a brand new action-adventure platformer starring Princess Peach. And here we are with an action-adventure role-playing experience starring Zelda, who has to rescue Link this time. It's called The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and this is a pretty big deal. It's in the mainline Zelda franchise, so it sits right alongside the classics, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, all of them, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, all of the Zelda games that you know across time, Ocarina of Time, speaking of. And this is a really cool idea. I had a blast streaming this experience. I streamed about the first 7 hours, so thank you to everybody that joined me on twitch.tv/EPN to check this game out. The story for the game is pretty straightforward. There's this evil across the land. There are all these rifts that have opened up that lead into the still world. Link has been captured, and Zelda has to rescue him. I was enthralled by the concept and by the very unique game design, because the whole idea here is that Zelda isn't just a surrogate for Link. She doesn't just transpose all of Link's abilities and become a female version of the character that we've been playing for what, 40 years now? For a very long time. She's her own creation, and she's got her own skill set and her own abilities. She joins forces with this magical character that pops out of the still world named Tri, who imbues this wand, this Tri wand, with the ability to create these echoes, these simulations of different characters that Zelda comes across, different monsters specifically, but also lots and lots of objects. And the bed is your friend in this game. You are going to make a ton of bed bridges. You're going to be stacking beds all over the place to get across chasms or over shelving units to stealthily sneak by some pig guards or something like that. And you're also going to be collecting a whole bunch of other objects that you will use in different specific places. And the adventure plays out like a lot of classic overhead 2D Zelda experiences. Every once in a while you jump into a rift and you rescue a bunch of Tri's buddies, and then you seal that rift up and it leads to a dungeon. The last game that this game's developer made, they're called Grezzo, was Link's Awakening, the remake for the Nintendo Switch. And this game shares a lot of similarities. It's got a look that is very evocative of Link's Awakening. It's kind of cutesy, looks like little doll type characters running into each other. I love the cats and dogs in this game, which you can interact with, by the way. But it also plays like the classic 2D Link's Awakening. You get a really good topographical sense of the scale of the map, but what's different this time is that Zelda has the ability to jump right out of the gate, and she's got the ability to augment her jump and some of her other skill sets, her latent skill sets, with different items that you can acquire and wear. Like you can wear some fins so you can swim a little bit faster in the water. I kept the double jump frog bracelet on for most of the game because it was pretty cool to be able to jump up on top of trees and to see rock formations and stuff like that you could actually scale up fairly easily. And what helps you and what aids you in all of your jumping and scaling and clambering over everything is this collection, this vast assortment of oddities that you bring along with you. It's almost like you've got a wallet that's stacked with all kinds of cards, and you just are rifling through all of the cards and you're picking the right card at the right time. And that became a little bit tedious, I do have to say. It definitely impacts the flow of the experience because you're in a battle or you're at the edge of a cliff or something, and then you're just like rifling through your wallet going, okay, what do I use here? And invariably it's the bed, though. You usually just default to the bed. You use the bed a lot is what I'm saying. Bed bridge, hashtag bed bridge. You're going to be making a lot of them. But that you can put down blocks. There are water blocks that you can put down that you can kind of swim through as well, which is pretty cool. And also the game employs a lot of two-dimensional side-scrolling elements in here as well, just like classic 8 and 16-bit Zelda games in the past. And those are unique as well because you've got your wallet with you wherever you go, so you've got your monsters that you can pull out to attack the other monsters, and you've got all of these different items that you can throw down to help you reach the chests that will open up and give you keys or rupees or other little secrets and surprises. And so you kind of know the drill, the core mechanics of what you got to do here. You've got some dungeons that you have to enter, and you get into some pretty cool boss battles with some pretty fearsome enemies. And again, you're slowing everything down, and you're whipping through your wallet, and you're going throwing down cards. It's almost like this real-time card role-playing game in a way. It's like you stop to play Marvel Snap, you know? It's like, what am I going to throw down that's going to be effective in this battle or to get over there? And so there's a lot of that. And at first it's really charming, but I have to say, sort of late game, when you kind of cross the halfway point, I did start to feel some tedium with it. And I think it's because I crammed the game in too quickly. You know, woe is me, I'm a game reviewer, so I have to play these things fairly quickly. I got it a few days ago and I've completed it because I was addicted and I wanted to see where it was going to go. But the other thing that I definitely noticed with the game is that because there's a confinement and a containment with its design, which I certainly appreciated after the incredibly lengthy experience of Tears of the Kingdom, this was absolutely the right way to go. It's a palate-cleansing Zelda experience, and I love its tip of the hat to the classic 2D Zelda games that I've loved for years and years and still love. I think all of those ingredients are great. I just felt like it doesn't scale up in a huge way, literally and figuratively. There isn't this crazy, shocking surprise or twist or turn or bend. And I also felt like I was looking through my wallet, looking through all my cards for so much of the game. I don't think I would have quite the same issues with that mechanic and with, you know, where the game takes me if I wasn't trying to just shovel it in and get through the whole thing. But I also couldn't stop thinking about it when I wasn't playing it. I was excited to go back in and get deeper and deeper into the game. And I love that it twists and gives us this character who's got a different relationship with all of the townsfolk. And, you know, you are going to go to familiar villages and see, you know, characters that are echoes of different types of characters you've seen in the past. And I enjoyed that it was from a whole fresh perspective. And I absolutely think this is essential gaming for Zelda fans out there, any fans, honestly, of cool video games. I just wasn't as blown away by the way this game got to its crescendo and its ultimate ending as I was with its introduction and all of the ways that we're sort of led into the game and we start to experience the mechanics at the beginning. The first half for me felt stronger than the second half. And the only other thing I'd say is that it's time for Nintendo to invest in voice actors. There's a lot of great actors out there, and it's time for Nintendo to get these actors to read these lines. There's so much reading in this game, but I do think you should play it. I think it's a very fun, very satisfying game. And I hope it's not the last time that we get to play as Zelda. I think that there's a door opened here, and I think Nintendo can run with this and give us other adventures with this character. It opens up the universe in some interesting new ways, and it also introduces the idea of possibly a cooperative Zelda game where you can play as Link and as Zelda at the same time, which would be wild. It would be great. And I love the fact that Nintendo, you know, 40 years into this, or however, whatever anniversary we're on now with Zelda, is reinventing this property on a continuous basis and trying to introduce Minecraft / Lemmings / Lost Vikings types of mechanics into the way that we play and perceive and puzzle solve our way through a Zelda experience. Love that. And also a major standout feature in this game is the gorgeous music. There's a lot of variety and it's beautiful all the way through. I found myself just in awe of the musical scores on a continuous basis. You go into a different part of the map, a different region, like a forest region, and you hear the drums. You go up into the snowy mountains and you hear sort of wintry tunes up there. It's just so beautiful. The whole collection of music that you get across your journey, astounding. Truly, wonderful work here. I really dug it. It's not my favorite Zelda game, but I don't think you should miss it. I'm going to give The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom an 8.5 out of 10.